My mom is inviting you to dinner today. I read a message from my wife 4 days after my wedding. The message came at 7:43 p.m. I was in the office, still half lost between contracts and concrete deadlines. My mom is inviting you to dinner today. There was a smiley face at the end. Too cheerful, too early. 4 days after our wedding, and she already sounded rehearsed. I stared at the text longer than I should have, not because of what it said, but because of what it didn't. No, I miss you. No, can't wait to see you. Just an invitation from her mother. Dinner was quiet, too quiet, the kind of quiet where knives sound louder than voices. Her mother, Lena, watched me with that polished smile rich people wear when they're trying to evaluate your price. The wine tasted like varnish, the food like silence. They spoke in Italian sometimes, soft laughter hidden under their breath. I asked her once, politely, "What did you say?" My wife smiled. Nothing important, just a joke. But I caught the look, that quick, fleeting glance between them, amusement, not affection. I've seen it before, in boardrooms, in negotiations. It's the look people share when they think they're smarter than you. 2 days later, she came home late. Perfume that wasn't hers. Hair out of place. Eyes that didn't meet mine. I didn't ask. I just smiled. When she showered, I checked her phone. Old habits from corporate wars die hard. Hidden folder. Locked messages. But she'd forgotten the one thing everyone forgets. Backups. "You shouldn't have married him so soon," her mother had texted. "He's useful, but temporary." My wife replied with a heart emoji. I read it 3 times, once as a husband, once as a lawyer, once as a man who finally understood what silence costs. They didn't just plan to use me, they planned to own me. The next morning, I was calm, detached, like I'd been waiting for this all my life. I went to work as usual, drafted a contract transfer, shifted 3 properties, one of which her family thought they'd control, into a trust under my firm's name. Legal, clean, invisible. Then I scheduled dinner. Same house, same table, same smile. That evening she looked nervous. Her mother looked triumphant. They thought I was coming to apologize, to explain my distance. Lena poured the wine again. Her nails were perfect. Her laugh rehearsed. Halfway through the meal, she leaned toward her daughter, whispered something in Italian. They laughed. A small, cruel laugh. I didn't ask what it meant. I just smiled, set down my glass, and reached for her hand gently. "Signora," I said softly, "your Italian is beautiful, but next time, choose your words carefully." Her eyes froze. The smile collapsed mid-breath. I continued in flawless Italian. "The property you wanted is already gone. I transferred it this morning. And the firm you thought you could influence now owns your debt." The room went dead. Her daughter, the woman I called my wife, stared at me like she'd seen a ghost. I leaned back, slow and quiet. "I learned Italian for her," I said, nodding toward my wife. "I thought it would bring me closer to her family. Seems it did." No one spoke after that. The ticking clock filled the space between us. When I stood, I left my wedding ring beside the half-empty glass. Not thrown, not bitter, just placed. A closing statement. My wife's lips trembled. Her mother tried to speak, but all that came out was air. Outside, the night felt cleaner than it had in years. No noise, no warmth, just clarity. I didn't feel victorious, only empty, like the truth had finally burned everything false away. In real estate, we call it clear title. No liens, no claims, just ownership. That's what I had now, ownership of myself. When I got to the car, I checked my phone one last time. Her message was still there. "My mom is inviting you to dinner today." I left it unread. Forever. And as the city lights blurred past the windshield, I realized some dinners are invitations, others are traps. Either way, I always bring the knife.